Yeah, so I'm Nick Hillman. I'm director of a small think tank called the Higher Education Policy Institute, and we are supported by about 105 universities up and down the country. And what we try and do is we sit between government and universities and try to get the two sides to understand each other. The title I've been given today is what the general election of 2015 meant for further education and higher education. But the point is, the election in policy making terms now seems a long way away, actually, and the government hit the ground running back in May. Whether people like what they're doing or not is not really the point. They've done a huge amount, particularly on higher education, since May, and they published just a few days ago a higher education green paper, which promises new legislation on higher education. So we're all trying to get to grips with that, but it's got some really big ideas in it, like a new teaching excellence framework, the abolition of the Higher Education Funding Council for England, new measures on widening participation. So there's a lot to grapple with. The government and the new Minister, Jo Johnson, are really trying to put a stress on teaching quality, and that could lead to different incentive structures inside universities. You know, the perception, rightly or wrongly, is that academics in the past have been promoted for good quality research, not so often promoted for good quality teaching. But in future, all those metrics about how good your university is at teaching will become much more important. And I suspect that will feed through into employment processes and pay. Well, I suspect they have dealt with it to a certain degree on the research side. If you want a really top-notch, world-class researcher, sometimes they are paid enormous sums. But I think the first thing they should do is actually look at the government's green paper that says what it is they want to do. Now, it's a green paper and it is very green, which means it is a proper consultation document. And if they read it and they think this won't work, this is going to cause us headaches and not much benefit, then they've got a really good opportunity to tell the government that now, because it's a proper consultation. But the window is only open till just after Christmas. The business department, which funds further education and higher education, is going to be strapped for cash, frankly. Secondly, really think what the teaching excellence framework is going to mean for the recruitment of staff and retention of staff and the pay of staff. And thirdly, actually try to get to grips with the regulatory landscape. Certainly in higher education, that is changing now quite rapidly. And in further education, the structure is going to change too, because we're going to see a lot of consolidation of FE colleges. So think about structures as well as funding.